Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Alien Romulus came, and obviously people liked it, people didn't like it. One of the main things people had an issue with universally, though, was Ian Holmes and how he looked. Now, yeah, didn't look great, to be fair. I said in my review, I was like, oof. It's one of those things that pops up on screen, you're like, oof, goodness me. Well, anyway, Alien Romulus is released for, home viewing now. And apparently, it's all been fixed. So, Empire had a sort of a sit-down conversation with Fede Alvarez, and yeah, basically to celebrate the home release. And he said a few bits and pieces that I thought was interesting. I think it's an interesting article. Now, of course, Fede Alvarez has been confirmed to be making a follow-up to Alien Romulus. So it's good to see a director who understands he's not, infallible, right? Like, he understands that. Well, he's just admitting fault. It's nice to see. Gracious in your own issues, I guess. Gracious in your missteps. So the fact that he's making the sequel, the fact that he's acknowledging that, like, it needed to be fixed is a good thing, right? Like, whether you liked the movie or not, we can all understand attributes to certain individuals which are better than others. And this is a good thing. So we're going to take a look at this. Hit subscribe if you're new here, and indeed if you are a returning viewer who is not yet subscribed. There's a lot of you. I can see you from the analytics, and it'll be fantastic to have you here more often. Let's take a look at this article from Empire. It was released yesterday, fairly late for me. 5 p.m. is, God, for my time, what is that? I don't know, 9, 10, depending. But it says here, Alien Romulus fixed the controversial Ian Holm CGI for home release. Quote, it's so much better. I have not watched Alien Romulus since the theatres. I don't know where it's available in the UK. I went on Disney Plus. I have access to an account on Disney Plus. I don't pay for it. And it's not there. So, does anyone mind telling me where the hell this thing is that I can watch for free? Because I should be able to, because I've got accounts with certain things. I'm going to guess people will just go Amazon Prime. But I could have sworn it was available on Disney Plus. But apparently not, annoyingly. But anyway, so we'll just shuffle this over a little bit. And it says, when Alien Romulus arrived last summer, it brought cinema's greatest sci-fi horror franchise screaming into new life, chest-bursting a new xenomorph rampage onto the big screen. And for the most part, Fede Alvarez's film, set between the events of Alien and Aliens, revelled in, played around with the established iconography of the series so far. Touching on everything from Prometheus to Alien Resurrection, whilst also liberally paying homage to Ridley Scott and James Cameron's classics, which a lot of people had issue with that. I think that's fair enough. I stand by what I've said. And I don't change my opinion, but there's caveats to it. I guess additional caveats is that whether you liked the movie or not, the franchise absolutely unequivocally needed something like this, because Alien Covenant was a disaster. It was not a good film in terms of how it was well received in box office and financials and things. They let the franchise sit for a really long time. Whether you agree with the homages or not, it doesn't really matter. This movie made a lot of money. It was successful. And so, moving forwards, if they repeat that, then yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. I think the franchise required that kind of reset where people were like, oh yeah, I remember why I like this. To me, that's why the callbacks worked, because it reminded people why they like, not fans, obviously, but the casual viewer, right? They watched it and they were like, oh yeah, I remember why I like this now. That's fun. This is fun. This is good. This is good. And it has all the callbacks. Now, again, Fede Alvarez moving things forward. You can't do that again. You just can't. You can't do all the callbacks again. You have to actually move the story forward now in a significant fashion. But everyone who was saying, no, they needed to do something different, this is just the same kind of stuff, they did that with Prometheus and Alien Covenant. They were doing different things, and the fan base didn't appreciate it. So it is a tricky balance to strike. But anyway, I digress. So it says here, those callbacks didn't always come without controversy. One surprise awaiting audiences was the arrival of an android character, Rook, given the face of the late great Ian Holm, with his estate's permission, who played nefarious bot Ash in Scott's original Alien. So the result on screen, though, was somewhat uncanny. Somewhat. It was a big oof when it came on screen, which became the subject of much discussion among fans. Even Alvarez wasn't quite convinced. Quote, "We just ran out of time in post-production to get it right. This is good." People don't hate Fede Alvarez for being honest. Seriously, don't. Because this is good. It's good that a director is coming out and being very transparent about things and admitting fault. Alright? Because it goes to show you that the willingness to make changes moving forwards. It's good. That's a really good thing. So yeah, the director tells Empire in a major new interview, reflecting on Romulus, quote, "I wasn't 100% happy with some of the shots, where you could feel a bit more the CG intervention. So for people that react negatively, I don't blame them." That is brilliant. How often do we get directors that just blame fans? I mean, James Mangold with Indiana Jones, he was like, yeah, no one was going to be happy with that film, so whatever. Like, no, mate. You've got a director here coming out going, if you reacted negatively, I don't blame you. I get it. I don't blame you. That's amazing. So good. And for everyone that's like, yeah, so he's only doing this. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, he is only doing that. But how often do people do that? As a result, Alvarez ensured that the home entertainment release of Romulus features a new and improved Rook. Quote, "We fixed it," he confirms. "We made it better for the release right now. I convinced the studio we need to spend the money and make sure we give the companies that were involved in making it the proper time to finish it and do it right. It's so much better." That's amazing. He even went back to 20th Century Fox and was like, look, I need more money. Like, we need to finish this. That's fucking brilliant. That's really good. And again, if this guy's doing the second one, that's good. How often have we heard from bloody Ridley Scott going, no, I know best. The beast is done. Blah, 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 blah. You couldn't tell him anything. You couldn't convince him of anything ever. This is someone that's listening to people. That's great. Since the character was always created through a mix of techniques, it meant recalibrating the various elements, both practical and digital, that brought Rook to life. Animatronic puppeteer Shane Mahan actually did this animatronic of Ian Holm based on a head cast from Lord of the Rings. And that was the only one in existence, says Alvarez, noting that further into production, the choice was made to lean much more on digital effects. What we did for the home entertainment version was revert a lot more to the puppet. It's way better. That's great. I tell you, it is interesting that he notes here, you know, further into production, choice was made to do more digital effects. That'd be a studio mandate. That'd be them looking at this going, yeah, we've got a good film here. Let's pump more money into it. I reckon. I don't know, but I reckon. This is good. This is good. I'm hoping to get this interview so we can kind of break it down and discuss it, because I think this is going to be a good interview with Fede Alvarez. But there you go. This is good news for the sequel. This is really good news for the sequel. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Drop it down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.